Okay, guys, I am back with another one. And if I want to just put out a disclaimer, if you're sensitive to a lot of things that's happening, like I said, we've been hit a lot, and not like it's not like it hasn't been happening, but we have really been hit a lot with a lot of things happening to black women and girls, right? And I titled it Justice Because of White Zaddy. And the reason why I did that, because I said on my last audio, a black woman. I just happened to go on YouTube, and it's this lady, I never heard of her before, and I don't even know her YouTube page, because her title of her video just showed up in my recommendation box. And I just saw the title and I did not bother to click on it, because just like I don't want to hear these men speak, I don't want to hear women like her speak either. But I did see the title. And the title was, as I said before, when white Zaddy divorces his black woman. When white Zaddy divorces his black woman. Okay, so I already know this is going to be that was going to be one of those videos where you warn black women not to deal with white men, because of even though black women and white men with their union, they're 92% less likely to get a divorce. Black men and black women are probably more than 50% at this point more likely to get a divorce. And white women and black men, at the time the statistics was done, they were 200% more likely to get a divorce. But here she goes, wants to talk about, and I'm not promoting any interracial dating, because like I said, I promote individualism. I don't promote no kind of group thing. It's just about whatever makes you happy. But my point is that you know um going back to this one of my points is that how obviously they like to ignore the obvious, because I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to the black collective, I honestly don't need statistics. I don't need statistics to know that a lot of people on welfare. I don't need statistics to know that the crime rate is high. I don't need statistics to know. Just look at right in front of you. Do you know when people get money, as soon as people get money, they move the heck out of the black community? What is that saying? You don't need a piece of paper to know that to get the heck away from black people when you get the chance, and as soon as you get money, you get the heck away from them. It's just what it is. But so I targeted this because you guys, if you don't know who Tony TKO is, I'm going to post the video because I'm not going to film it and put it on my page. It's pretty graphic. Of this guy raping her. You see it going on for about 5 minutes. This lady is slumped over. He spit on his hand so he can moisten the area where he's penetrating her. It looks like she's slumped over. He's holding her up on her chest. Her eyes are closed. She's clearly out of it. I mean, she looked like a limp noodle. Looked like he's holding up like a dead body. Okay. And the reason why I say, if it wasn't for white Zaddy, she wasn't going to get justice, because people are just walking around. I know it's a club, but you can clearly see that lady she slumped over. But it was the lady who talked about, she thought that he effed her to sleep. She was actually the one filming it the whole time, because that lady couldn't have filmed it. She was filming when she kept saying, help me, help me, help me. But when that lady was slumped over like that and her eyes were closed and she looked like she was completely out of it, she was non-responsive. If you were to shake her, you could not wake her up, okay? He was holding her up. Her body was limp, okay? And it was filmed because it was another black lady who was filming it, who talked about, well, she didn't yell for help. You filmed it. You saw that she wasn't responsive. Like, her body was literally like spaghetti. She was limp. But you talking about how she didn't yell for help. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. Now, I know people don't like the choices that this lady might have made in her life. I'm not making excuses for that rapist. I'm glad that she got justice for that, because rape is still rape. He clearly raped that lady. So I'm not, what I was saying in my last audio, because I don't want to be misunderstood, because I don't care what kind of life she had. The same way white women don't give these white men a pass for raping these white women, even if she was sloppy drunk. White women don't give white men a pass for raping. So whether I agree with her lifestyle, which I'm in no place to say whether I agree with her or not, but I am in a place to say what I'm going to support. Okay. And what I was saying, that as much as we want to, well, I don't anymore, because I learned to get past it. But as much as some women want to go hard for black women, some people are extremely pro black woman. You can't be all for all black women, and that's why the police need to handle this. And I'm glad the police got it. Okay, but as far as any additional help for this lady, she has to want to get out of the situation that she's in. Okay. Also, I'm giving Tanya TKO credit for this, and I hope people, if they're not going to be too upset at the graphics in the video, to watch it. If you're not going to be too upset by it, okay. If it's going to bother you, don't watch it, because you clearly see this lady getting raped. I mean, you clearly see the whole thing. He raping her, okay, and it ain't no excuse for that. I'm not defending this guy. I'm not going to say she even deserved it. Should she have been in the position that she's in to get raped? Okay, there's a lot of rape victims that probably shouldn't have done some things, but I mean, just like the Bill Cosby victims, a lot of people a lot of people were against Bill Cosby, and these victims would go to his place at 2:00 in the morning, and he drugged them though. And see, when it comes to you drugging people, that's when it's no longer consent. That's the point right there. And he slipped a drug in this lady's drink. She was all hype, and then all of a sudden she wasn't anymore. And then next thing you know, she looked like she dead. And he's holding her up. Looked like he holding up a dead body. Okay? I'm not okay with that. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not a lift. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Somebody came up to my window. Sorry about that. Because I'm just sitting in my car because I'm taking a little break here, and so somebody came up to my car, thinking I was somebody else. But okay, so where was I? Yeah, so whatever life this lady lives, it's not okay what that guy did. And somebody might disagree that, well, she deserved it because she shouldn't have been out there. Once again, non-black women, when they see something, non-black women, when they witness something like that, regardless of the life that the woman lives, you see she clearly is not consenting to something like that, then it's just not going to be okay. Whether she should have been out there or whether she shouldn't have, whether she should have been twerking or whether she shouldn't have, he drugged her. And then he raped her, and he spit on his hand to lubricate her bottom so he can put his penis in her. Okay? I'm not going to, no, I can't. I can't with that. Okay? But what I said about her husband, and Tanya TKO put up a video with her husband speaking. I might put that there too. But the first one I'm going to put is probably her of her getting raped, clearly getting raped. And the other one is going to be of her husband speaking. Here's the next day after her rape. This is the day when she's like on Facebook Live, and she's talking like maybe a couple of minutes, and he's in the passenger seat smoking. I don't know what he's smoking, but he's in the passenger seat smoking and slumped over. While the rape victim, the day after her rape, she's driving. This is what I was talking about right there. That not to get emotionally invested in what happens to these ladies. I'm not saying that that guy shouldn't go to prison for a very long time, and whatever happens to him happens to him. I'm not letting this guy does not get off the hook for raping. He does not get off the hook for raping. Okay, but what I was saying is that be careful for those who are so extremely pro-black women that you go hard for black women, and you see a clip of this lady getting raped, and true enough, you want her to get justice regardless of what kind of life she lived. You want to make sure at least this guy goes to prison, which he is. Okay, which he is. But after that, no more. Because after seeing what I saw with the husband and her in this car together, in this vehicle together, she does not want a better life right now. Okay, she does not want a better life. And that is the part I'm talking about, where it cuts off with being emotionally invested in a lot of these women. Now, I'm aware that innocent black women and girls get raped and get hurt all the time. I'm completely aware of that. I'm talking about this situation, and I'm talking about this slew of black women abuse that we keep getting on social media, and what it's doing, and it's pulling you down emotionally. That is what I'm saying. It's pulling you down emotionally. It's pulling down your frequency, and it's going to cause you to be stuck in a space that you don't want. And what I was saying, that it's going to be in vain, because it's not enough black people, black women specifically, because we already know the men don't care. They the ones that's killing you. They don't care. They killing you. The killers don't care. The only thing they care about is killing. Okay, but the problem is that you're only one person, and you can only care so much. And even if it's a few other women that care, you can only care so much, because right now, a lot of black women do not have the courage to get together, because there has been black women who have tried in the past. It has not been enough black women to get together on those type of subjects. I'm going to say this again. For instance, see Dolores Tucker, who waged war against gangster rap, and she knew where it was going. She knew where the black community was headed when that music came out, and she did not. I mean, forget the fact that she didn't have black men backing her up, enough black men. She didn't have enough black women backing her up. Okay, and this is and look at and I use C. Dolores Tucker as an example, because look at the amount of clout this woman had. Look at the amount of influence this woman had. She was in the civil rights movement. She was able to get into the faces of people, top producers, and people that, who are in charge of the Billboard's Music Awards. She was able to get in front of them. She was able to go on CNN. This is the kind of pull this lady had, but yet and still, black people, specifically black women at that time and now, do not care enough about black women and girls. And that is the point that I was making. It's not the fact that this man should get away with raping her, because he needs to go to prison. Okay? But specifically for this lady, it was good. It's good that Tanya kept putting up video after video after video, because you can't, it was terrible. I saw her as a human being. What it was is that I wasn't emotionally invested in her being a black woman. I'm no longer emotionally invested in somebody being a black woman anymore. Reason being, unless I move to do more, to do something, try to do something more to help. Okay. But in this case, I thought it was disgusting, because I knew he was raping her, no matter what color she was. It was disgusting, because it was obviously rape. Okay. But as far as her being a black woman, I was not emotionally invested. Okay. Because I already saw, like, if you're one of those women that want to, hold on a second, guys. If you're one of those women that go hard for black women and girls, and you see what happened to this woman, and it pulls your heartstrings, and you reach out to this woman and you reach out to her and you say, what can I do? Oh, I want to help you. She's probably not going to be too accepting of the help that you offer. And that's what I'm saying. And I hope this is not cold, because I'm not trying to be cold at all. I don't want to be that. But she is probably not going to be too accepting. That's why I said, in a case like hers, let white Zaddy take care of that. Let the police take care of that, because that is the only justice right now. That is the most help she's going to get. Okay, it's justice for what this guy did. But as far as anything else, she's not ready to leave it alone. Okay? And so, and as far as other innocent black women and girls, I'm well aware. And it's not that you should not care. It's that it's like an admonishment to be careful how you keep putting your energy and emotions to every single story that happens, regardless if they're innocent. Putting your emotions constantly, because it's not the fact that they are not innocent. It's the point that it's not enough black people that care. And then it's getting to the point where not too many non-black people care either. And it's almost like you're alone. And so after you get finished being so upset and having hours of discussion over what keep happening to these black women and girls, after you sit on YouTube on a live and have hours of discussion of what keep happening to black women and girls, what next? That's the point that I was making. What next? Because if black women are so divided that they tear each other down every time you have one black woman the positive, then what can really be done? What is the solution? Because I'm going to tell you what I said before. If you really, really, really want something to be done about this, and I'm talking about the what's happening to black women, because it still affects you by default because you're a black woman. So this lack of love that the collective of black women have for themselves, this lack of love affects those who try to live within the United States. Okay. And so I get that. So those who are really, really getting sick and tired, it's just, you're not going to, I've seen too many examples of black women who've tried to know that it's not going to work. And that's what I mean by be careful with being so emotionally invested, even if it's an innocent 5-year-old black girl who's clearly innocent when she's that age. Okay. But what can you do about it? Because look at the R. Kelly docu-series. Look at the girls that went missing in Chicago. Look at the girls that went missing in Washington. Okay? You cannot really get support from a lot of black women. Okay? And even the black women who get into all these discussions, they're going to talk about it, but they're not going to really make any real moves. Okay? And so if you want to have some kind of change happen, the best thing for right now, because of the consciousness that the collective of black women have, the type of consciousness they have of this self-loathing behavior, whether they educated or whether they hood, the self-loathing is self-loathing. Okay? Because of this collective consciousness of a lack of self-love, your best bet right now is, if you really, really want to do something, is to pair up with non-black people who use your discernment with non-black people who are genuinely concerned about what happened to black women and girls. And even though that might be difficult to find for some, I'm not under the belief that there's none that exist. I'm just not in that belief. Okay, I don't believe that. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of non-black women that you can't trust, but there are some that you can trust more than you can trust black women. Okay, and so what I'm saying is, if you really want to change, just like when I decide to do something for black women a couple of years down the line, because black women are going to be more ready in a couple of years, because it's going to be brutal. This year in 2020, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be some fatalities, and by then it's going to be more that's ready to get out of this slumber than now. Okay, because right now a lot of them are not ready. But after 2 years, they might be ready because it's going to be brutal. Okay, it's going to be real brutal. And so I already know whatever I decide to do, I'm not going to really ask for too much from Black people. I will be having non-Black people involved, that's for sure. And so that's what I'm saying. But I don't want to go on too long with this. I think I wanted to just maybe be clear of what I meant in that last audio, because that guy was clearly wrong in what he did, regardless of whatever kind of life she lives. He's clearly wrong in what he did. He drugged her. He's clearly raping this lady on the floor. He's clearly holding her up by her chest. She's slumped over. Her neck is slumped over. Her eyes are closed. And he's raping her. That's not okay, regardless of what kind of life she lives. Even if she was a stripper, it's not okay. It's not okay that he did that, you know? So I just want to make that clear that I'm not letting this guy off the hook. But what I'm saying is be careful being so emotionally invested in every single story, because it does nothing but pull you down. And at the end of the day, nothing really is getting done about it. Okay. And with that said, I'm going to post the rape video that Tanya TKO put up. And I'm going to post the one with her husband speaking in the passenger side of the vehicle while she driving the day after she got raped. Okay. And I will talk to you soon. Okay.